Welcome, everybody, to another installment of D's Guys Review, where we review movies and let you know what we think. My name is Peter Tobin,
I'm Brian Lawrence.
and today we're going to be reviewing Spectre, the latest installment of our James Bond saga. Brian, you have any words to start us off with?
Meh.
It was okay.
It was okay.
So we'll see you next time. No, honestly, both of us thought this movie was a fantastic film. It is, well, at least I like to think that both of us thought it was a fantastic film.
I thought it was okay.
Really? Just okay?
Just okay.
Oh, I thought it was a fantastic film. So, I'm going to speak from what I thought. It was okay. I honestly, I thought that the movie did a very good job with the Bond saga. I thought that they kind of they tried to wrap everything up over all the films. They had a lot of little Easter eggs for you Bond aficionados. It was a very, very well put together puzzle of Easter eggs.
I did enjoy the kind of trying to tie in the villains from
All the previous
Daniel Craig's previous
yes
Bond films.
all
to
of
kind of tie them all together.
the Daniel Craig saga of Bond, they definitely tied in all of the evil villains. Spectre with the octopus. This has been a ongoing thing with almost every single Bond out there.
Going all the way back to Dr. No and From Russia with Love.
Exactly.
Spectre was the original
Organization, yes,
that
exactly.
MI6 was up against and trying to stop.
So with the latest installment of Bond as Daniel Craig as Bond, they did an incredible job of incorporating Spectre as part of this this evil villainous organization, and with all the technology that we have at our disposal, MI6 and Spectre, they did an incredible job of incorporating everything. Setting aside all my feelings for the Bond films, which I love, let's start nitpicking this film. Let's start pulling it apart. So, cinematography, Brian.
Okay. I feel like it was the previous Sam Mendes Bond film, Skyfall. Before this, he used Roger Deakins as his cinematographer. One of the top best cinematographers working today. Sam Mendes worked with him on American Beauty. I feel like most of his other movies also, and the cinematography in Skyfall was astounding.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. I mean,
The action sequences were great.
Yes.
The motion sequences were awesome.
the kind of barren landscape of the Scotland,
yeah.
kind of all really breathtaking stuff there. In this film, not as much. A lot more shaky cam with the action scenes. A lot more kind of very obvious green screen
Yes.
sequences, especially during the beginning with the whole helicopter sequence. A
There
lot
are
of fuzzy shots.
Great many shots.
That were just fuzzy. It seemed like
The
I don't know
shaky
if it was
cam was just the fight scenes were good and they were well choreographed. If you can agree with me.
I don't know if part of that was the IMAX conversion, because we did see this movie IMAX.
Yes.
It's one of the few that has not been released 3D and it's still IMAX, which we always appreciate a movie to do. I don't know if the conversion is part of the kind of fuzziness, but to me it really just didn't have that sharpness and just that eye-popping color that Skyfall had.
I was hoping that the IMAX experience would be that much more intense. I don't personally think that this Bond film benefited from the IMAX experience.
Not really. I mean, there's some good sound. But
There was great sound.
I mean,
awesome
it's
sound.
loud.
But
like,
I mean,
it's
yeah,
about as much as you can go.
it was great sound, but there weren't a lot of scenes that warranted the great sound. You see a lot of these movies, and we've been doing a lot more research with how films are shot and the meaning of certain sequences. And since then, I've been trying to find a little more meaning in each scene. And with this film, I really couldn't find any significant meaning with any one scene. There was no camera angle that really made you stop and think, well, who is the dominant in this scene? Who is in control? Who or what or this or that. There was no scenes. It was very cut and dry with the cinematography, and we're all used to that. I was expecting a little bit more, so I was a little disappointed in that. But again, big Bond fan, so I like the movie.
Yes. This is definitely a bigger movie than Skyfall was. Skyfall just had such a confidence about it. I mean, we both adored Skyfall. I will be the first to admit that there were a lot of plot logistical problems with Skyfall.
Yeah. But with any Bond film, really, there's a lot of plot problems.
But Skyfall especially, I will not disagree at all that there were a lot of jumping the shark moments in it. However, it was such a well-made movie that most of it was forgivable.
Yes.
This is definitely a bigger movie. It feels as though, Sam Mendes is a fantastic director. I mean, American Beauty, Road to Perdition, Reservation Road. I mean, this guy knows film directing. I think he's one of the best directors out there right now, film directors. But this, it's obvious that he is just trying to hold this gargantuan production of a movie together, where you're going to this country and then to this country and then back and forth and back and forth. I mean, it feels like he is struggling to hold it all together. I mean, for me, it feels like less of a tight, refined, like every shot, like in Skyfall, like it felt like every shot was so meticulously planned and thought out, whereas in this it felt like it was just like, oh my god, we just need to get this shot, so just film this.
You bring up a really good point with that, like in like what you said with Skyfall, where they had these escaping views of Scotland, the Highlands that they were in, and they had these great shots of Scotland. And then in this movie, in Spectre, they're in Africa. They're in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of Africa. I don't even know what country they were in the middle of Africa, but they're heading to this crater, and every shot on a map is nothing. And every time they get closer to it, it's just a shot of nothing. It's just desert.
It reminded me a little too much of Quantum of Solace, which you do not want to invoke any memory of that movie.
Quantum of Solace, aside from the female lead, aside from the Bond girl in that film, and Daniel Craig, the movie has no redeemable qualities.
No.
I mean, the two of them were the only saving quality.
And you can tell
they weren't even that good.
Yeah, you can tell with this movie they really don't reference it at all.
No.
They reference like every other Daniel Craig movie, but that one is
Quantum of Solace was like a
swept under the rug.
Basically, you could say that this is Daniel Craig's third Bond movie.
Yeah. But let's talk about plot wise.
Oh, plot. I thought that the plot was pretty damn good.
I mean, it's a good plot. It's a very interesting plot. They're obviously reintroducing this whole Spectre organization and tying it into the previous
twist was.
Bond
I thought
films.
that, and spoilers. I thought the twist was really good. I mean, I figured it out with the commercials, mind you, with the ads. So if anybody out there is clever, you've already figured this out.
Yeah, I think most people did. I mean, with the trailer, when you see like the photograph with like the one kid whose face is ripped off, really quickly that that's Christoph Waltz's character.
Yeah.
It really shouldn't be a surprise.
It's either going to be his brother or a character who plays his brother. Brian and I have grown very close. He's my brother. Mm-hmm. He's not my biological brother, but he's my bro. That's Christoph Waltz.
Yes.
I'm James Bond.
Who is fantastic in this movie, as always. I mean, Christoph Waltz, one of the best living actors today.
Holy crap, he is so good in this movie.
Unfortunately, he doesn't really become relevant as like the villain until about 2/3 of the way through the movie.
He's only really relevant for about 35, 40 minutes.
And I feel like that's another issue I had. It seems like these good actors you got to be these characters wound up not really I mean, Dave Bautista, who's supposed to be like this mammoth villain. Like everybody's like skeptical, like, oh my god, is he gonna be Jaws? Like, who's this character playing? He's pretty much just this silent character.
He has this epic battle with Bond.
Yeah,
but
a car chase scene, and then a fight scene, and then he gets like dragged off the train, and that's about it.
That was about it. He has no good lines. He has no good sequences to develop his character. But I mean,
there's no character. He doesn't really.
It's a Bond film,
Yeah.
so I mean, you don't really need to develop any of your minions, and Batista is definitely a minion. However, Batista does an incredible job. And the fight scenes that he's in are so fantastic.
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously he's a professional wrestler, so
Yeah,
I mean, he knows how to
Batista,
fight and make it look real.
Batista and Craig, they do an incredible job with the fight scene on the train, and this is, that is definitely one of the best fight scenes that Daniel Craig has ever done. And Daniel Craig, again, arguably one of the best James Bond characters out there. He is definitely, in my opinion, and you can argue with me all you want, the most physical Bond out there, hands down. I will argue with you all day long. He is the most physical Bond out there, and with Batista, everything is brought out to the surface and showcases how physical and how awesome he is.
We have Monica Bellucci, who was kind of being advertised as like, one of the main kind of like Bond girl characters. She's in it for about a couple scenes towards the beginning, and then that's about it.
She's stunning, but unfortunately,
which I think is a huge sin.
Yeah,
against this movie.
Yeah.
You do not put Monica Bellucci in a movie, and
she's not my girlfriend in this scene.
And then we have our actual Bond girl, Léa Seydoux.
This is one striking woman. She is incredibly attractive.
Yes.
Probably 18 years old. And I'm going to hell for saying these things.
Looks like it.
No, she is a remarkable, she does an incredible job. I don't know where she's from, where she hails from. She's American, she's British, what? She does a great job with her accents. I'm very big on accents, and she does an incredible job with that.
Does a good job. They're supposed to kind of make you believe towards the end that Daniel Craig is going to quit the agency and basically run off with her.
They definitely pull the heartstrings on Daniel Craig's character.
There's next to no kind of development as to why he makes this connection with her and ultimately decides on that.
They hint a little bit at the love that he had for Portia at the what was it, Casino Royale. Mm-hmm. So they hint at Casino Royale and his affection for Portia with that film.
So this seems to be kind of setting the stage for what's going to be happening next in the James Bond saga. This definitely seems to be like it's Daniel Craig's final Bond. As we all know from the interviews that he's recently given, he has zero interest in pursuing this character anymore
now
in film.
He did originally sign on for 5.
That's what I've been reading also.
He signed on originally for 5 Bond films. He has thus far done 4. Now, again, we go back to the fact that he is the most physical Bond ever. And especially with the scene with Batista, he broke Batista's nose and Batista broke his leg. So they actually stopped production for about a month and a half. So I could absolutely see where Daniel Craig is coming from and saying, I'm done doing this. Now, in one of his interviews, he actually said, not verbatim, of course, he said to the effect of, I'm not stupid, and the older I get, I do less stupid things. I would love to see Daniel Craig do another James Bond movie. But will it be the same kind of Bond movie that we have come to know in this most recent generation of Bond fans have come to know? Will it be that kind of Daniel Craig?
Yeah, I don't Yeah, I probably wouldn't like to, just because I would know that his heart wasn't in it.
Exactly.
If he was doing it, I mean, he's already said if he did another one, it would be purely for the money,
Purely
and
for the
nothing
money.
else. Which, I mean, kudos to him for being honest about it.
Yeah,
But,
and he's getting a lot of bad rap about this, and I think that we should just back off and be like, you know what? How would you feel about this if you've already done 4 Bond films and you've broken how many bones doing these Bond films? Yeah, no, I would be all about the money. If you paid me enough money to do the next Bond film, I would absolutely be all up on board with that.
Yes.
Overall, what did we think about this movie?
Spectre, it's okay. And that's really about as much as I can give it.
As a Bond fan, I loved this movie. It was so much fun. The action sequences were incredible. The
opening shot,
opening
that
sequence was
single
just,
tracking shot, kind of all through those streets and then up to the building. Awesome technical achievement stuff there.
Absolutely. The makeup, the artistry, the special effects, all these things were so spot on, and they put so much time and energy and money really into all these awesome special effects. So I gotta say, kudos to the special effects team. Kudos to when they were on location, to the
yes, thank you for actually being on location. I feel like way too many big movies just kind of
Half-ass
screen it
things.
or just set it or just, try to make it
what's the word I'm looking for?
be somewhere else.
I thought this was a really well done Bond movie. I thought it was a lot of fun, energetic. This is definitely something that people who are hardcore Bond fans are going to want to put in their collection because of all of the Easter eggs,
Yes.
the references to the past villains, and the hardcore action scenes. So
Yeah.
I liked it for that.
Oh, yeah, it's a fun movie.
Yeah, definitely a fun movie.
Definitely. I was just kind of let down by it a little.
I will say, don't bother with the IMAX. Go see it in regular format. So there we go for another installment of These Guys. So until next time, thank you for watching These Guys movie review. Cheers.